Okay, so I'm still on the dismantling stage. I've got all my stuff in pots. They're still soaking with WD-40. I've taken off, I think you can see that in the camera. On a 201, they've got gears, and there are these little things that the caps, I think they're called caps. I don't know what they're called. Let's call them a cap, that cover the gears. So I've taken mine both off because they'll also need a clean. I've just kept the screws, you can see it. I've just kept the screws with it. But this one belongs to the front. Now, when I unscrewed that, there was about half a dozen sewing pins inside. I don't even know how they would have got in there unless they were tucked in, or very strange. There's definitely some strangeness going on with this machine that I've not seen with other machines, but there were a load of like scary pins. So be careful when you're taking things off, because weird things are inside machines sometimes. Anyway, so that was just a weird thing. Now, I've given the bobbin area, a proper brush off and a better clean. I still can't get the feed dog screw out, so I'm just walking away from that now. I'm not going to worry about that anymore. But what I do want to do is take the bobbin out, and this, from what I've seen, can be quite tricky. Now, there is another YouTube video. It's not one of mine. It's a video I've followed to help me get this off. So I'm going to, how do I do that? I think I can link that video in the description so that you can follow that as well. But essentially, the bobbin casing in the center, this bit here, is held down by a ring, like a C-shaped ring with a pointy end and a flat end. And that is held down, almost like a bracket thing. That is held down, and that holds the casing in place. But that C-shape thingy is held in by two clips either side. So to get this out, you have to release the clips that are on. So there's another video that is very, very good at doing that, but I'm going to attempt to take that off. And then you have to hold the back, and then that should clip off. Okay, I made that look easy, but if when you watch the video you see, so there is the bracket that holds it down. It's held on by clips, but as you can see, there's a pointy end and a flat end. That's actually not too bad. It's dirty, but it's not too dirty. And then what you can do is then lift this off. And this is grubby, but not too bad. Most of the time, the bobbin area isn't too bad, because most of the time it's got the plate on the top, keeping it relatively clean. But I am going to just give that a shine up as well. I am not touching any of the, is that in camera? I'm not going to touch any of those tension screws just yet. I will test the tension later. Oh man, look at that. Let me show you. That's the area that I'm going to clean, because yeah, that's all horrible caked in-ness. So that's what I need to focus on. It would be ideal if I could get the feed dogs off, but as you can see, I was struggling so bad. I've actually damaged or begun to damage that screw. So I was like, no, not risking that, because I have no idea if you can get hold of that screw. It's probably one of those screws that is hard to get a hold of. So I'm not bothering. I've cleaned underneath, and I will just continue to clean until I'm happy with it. But that I need to deal with. But the other thing I was going to, let me put that back. The other thing I was going to do on video to show you, as you can see, this is also in a horrible state. Now, I didn't film the start of it because something might happen. But this screw here is what I want to take off. And I also want to get the presser foot thingy out. And I also need to take this spring out so that I can clean this bar. So off camera, I have loosened both of those screws, only because I at the moment, you can see I have no plasters on my hands. Normally I injure myself. I will injure myself at some point because usually with a screw I will slip and I usually end up sticking a screwdriver in my hand or some sort of injury. So I was wanting to make sure I'm not filming that because it's not very nice to look at. This was stuck solid, but I've used penetrating oil just to get that going. And bear with me, let's do it with my right hand. Oof, I might actually have to stand up, and I need a grippy cloth thing. Let's see if I can. It's just so stiff. If I drop the spring. Yeah. So I could really do with like mole grips or pliers. So as you can see, this is, oh my lord. No, okay, that's too stiff for you to watch me struggle doing that. So let me just pause so I can faff with trying to get that screw. I mean, it's moving, and the spring, there is movement on this spring. Oh, I'm making the camera jiggle. There is movement on the spring. I'm going to, off camera, because otherwise you're not going to be staring at me, I'm going to take this out. You've got this. There's also a little washer, which will probably pop out. And then you've got this spring. So once this is out, the spring slides out. And then I can release this clamp, because this little screw here is clamped to the main bar. What I want to be able to do is get this whole bar out to clean, but it gives me better access to this other section. Now, I am not going to attempt to take all of this apart. I am not experienced enough. I know my limits. I know what I can do and what I can't do. So, but what I can do with this bar not being here, it means I can access the other areas a bit better. Okay, let me just pause and then I can get this very stiff screw out. Okay, I think you're still going to watch me struggle a little bit, but I managed to loosen that so that I can get that out. But sometimes they're not very easy. So there's the wick in the center. And obviously that goes all the way through. I know you can't see that very well, but that goes all the way through. And it's a oil wick. So if you've got a 201, or I think 15, my 15's got this as well. That is a wick, so don't think it's dirt and try and take that out, but it just needs a clean and then a good soak. I mean, you can see how, oops, sorry. You can see how dirty that is, so that's going to need another clean. What I'm going to do is take the spring out, but I'm going to, there. Okay, now I had my hand on the top because there is a tiny washer, and that needs to, there's a tiny washer. So when you're taking a machine part, remember which order it goes in. So when I get to a point where I'm putting this back in, I know it's spring first, then washer, and then the big screw thing. But now I run out of pots, so I've upgraded to jam jars now. Okay, so this spring can now come out gently, not gently, come on. It's not happy, it doesn't want to come out. Ah, there we go. So nice and grotty. You can see my hands are getting filthy now. So again, that needs a nice clean. The good thing is it's still springy. So that's a good thing. Okay, you can see just how horrible and nasty that is. Let's start with, get a good screwdriver. Now you don't have to do this bit with a machine. You can, this is a grub screw by the way, just holding it in. You can clean it in situ. It's just I've found that it will... What is that? Is that a spider? Oh, please don't tell me it is. No, that was okay. I haven't got much faith that that's going to move, but I'm going to very gently give it a nudge. Ah, no, so it moves the bar, but I think that's completely... Oh, sorry, I'm jiggling the camera all over the place. This should, if it was in good working condition, this bar would be sliding up and down in this clamp, but that is really solid. Okay, so I am going to spray some WD-40 on that, and no, no, I might use penetrating oil actually, just to soak through to get that piece loosened. And then what will happen is the bar can slide directly up, and then this piece can then come out. Then I'll be able to get this presser foot lever out. I do have to, hopefully with the penetrating oil going down, it will soak through, and then it will soak this old thread cutter, and I can get that out. Otherwise, even with that loosened, the bar is not going to go up because the thread cutter's stuck and in the way. Okay, so that's going to take me a bit longer to sort out. What I will do, let me think about this. Okay, penetrating oil in that, let that soak through and allow that to come out. I have had a machine in the past where the penetrating oil didn't really do much. It was so stuck solid that I had to very gently persuade it out with a little tiny tap of a hammer just to dislodge it. I did manage to get the balance wheel off though. The stop motion screw was on so tight. I think it had cross-threaded or got jammed on the washer. And despite penetrating oil, I could not get this thing out. So I had to resort, unfortunately, to whacking the knob with a hammer, and that was enough to just dislodge the goo around it. Then it came off okay. So it wasn't damaged or anything. It's just it needed a bit of persuasion with the hammer. The balance wheel was stiff and stuck on, so I just wrapped that with cloth and then gave that a quick tap with the hammer, and then the balance wheel slid off. So that's not too bad. Okay, I'm going to have to leave it there, put penetrating oil in this, and then hopefully slide this bar out, slide this out, unscrew this, which I've loosened, unscrew that, and then I can get to the back. It would also be interesting if I can find the decal signature on the back here. I can't see anything at the moment, but there might be a decal signature in there. We will see, but I'll have to leave it there for now and have a sort out.